happy weekend. Gosh, it's gorgeous here. It's like 56 degrees and sunny and clear and beautiful. And oh, it just makes us long for spring, makes us long for summer, the late nights of light in summer when you can work in the yard after dinner and it seems like the day is never going to end. I think in California, January might be the cruelest month, not April, because we get teases of this beautiful sunshiny weather and yet the nights are still freezing. We're having freezing temperatures almost every night. So we are longing here, longing for summer, which makes me want to plant stuff, of course. And I'm exercising restraint. I am not planting tomatoes, but I am going to get started on my February list, which I will post for you all on Tuesday on my blog. I think I'm going to go ahead and sow some carrots. I got some beds ready yesterday afternoon. So I think I'm going to sow some carrots and some peas and some lettuces. I think I'm going to get going on that stuff. And indoors, I'm going to do some transplanting of some of the brassicas that have gotten their true leaves. And I think I'm going to start seeding things like celery, maybe some more brassicas, and also some flower starts. I want to see if I can get a head start on some flowers. I'm trying to get the chickens in view for you here. It's not easy. The light is kind of funny. Anyway, so it's been an interesting weekend so far. Tom and I are trying to do more hiking and get out there and see the flowers as they appear. Today we saw buttercups in the Diablo foothills. It was a beautiful hike, wet but beautiful, muddy. And a neighbor gave me a bunch of citrus from her trees, and so I made marmalade, orange marmalade for the first time. I have made Meyer lemon marmalade, but it turned out too bitter. That was last year, so I decided I never wanted to do that again. But the orange marmalade is nice. It's still, bitter, but it's sweeter than the lemon one. I like it a lot. So it's been a fun weekend, and there's more to do, so I thought you'd want to come along with me as I seed some things, so let's go. This is the carrot bed that I worked on yesterday, and I just want you to see it. As I've said about, 3 million times now, I don't till my beds, which means I don't turn them over. But I do come in with I call it a pitchfork, but it's not. It's a garden fork. And I just I dig it down deep and I loosen up the soil so that it can have oxygen. And then sometimes I'll take a rake and just kind of rake the top just so that I have this kind of tilth on the top especially for carrot seeds, because carrot seeds like it really loose on the top. So I planted this one on the right hand side, this one on the left hand side, and this one in the middle, right there. I don't know. We'll see if that does it. So I'm going to do lettuce in this. I'm going to try a new variety. Let's see, where is it? Let me show it to you. It's called tennis ball lettuce. And it says we need to sow on the surface and rake in. So we'll do this the same way we did do the carrots. And then I'll water. I'm trying to keep even better records this year. So in my map, here's my map. I'm going to write down that we did carrots again, and I'm going to write down all 3 varieties in a different place. But today is the 28th, and I did lettuce. Okay, so I have here my tray of brassica seedlings. Now, some germinated and some did not. You can see mostly the broccoli germinated. These are the broccoli in the front. And then I have a couple cabbages and a couple of cauliflower. I reseeded the other trays with the second planting. But this first planting, they have their true leaves. So the first thing they get are these cotyledon seed leaves, and those provide nutrition for the plant. And then the second thing they get is their true leaf. And that starts to look more like how it's supposed to look. The cotyledons just look like, they all look the same. None of them look any different. And then the true leaves look like the plant's going to look. So since they've got their true leaves and they're pretty big, it's time to pot them up. And so I don't have any 4-inch pots on hand, but I do have a lot of these solo cups that I had for another project. I promise it wasn't a keg. Although I wouldn't put it past Tom to brew up a keg. Anyway, I filled them with some planting mix and some potting mix, and it's time to take these out and transplant them. This is called pricking out. I don't know why. Let's just leave it at that. So I think I'm going to put these in the greenhouse after I pot them up. So I poked holes in the bottom of this with an awl. I have this little, like, this is something else I have that I got for some art project. Anyway, I poked holes in the bottom of this with that so that it can drain. And now we're going to prick out one of these broccolis that has got its true leaves. Now, a lot of people do this with like a special tool called a dibbler. I'm just going to use a spoon. And look at that. You can see all the root hairs on that broccoli plant. And then I'm going to put it in here. And this is probably the time to use a little fertilizer. And I mean just a touch. I bought fish emulsion. And that's probably, I would probably use it at like 100th strength, like not full strength, not half strength, not a quarter strength, just a touch in a watering can. And then what I'm going to do when I pricked all these out is I'm going to put them in the greenhouse. Now, I also put in the greenhouse yesterday some sweet peas that I sowed in cups like this. And I think they'll be plenty warm in there. When the sun is shining on that, we took the temperature in the greenhouse, and when the sun is shining, it's 75 degrees in the greenhouse. So at night, it's probably not nearly so warm, but during the day, it's beautiful. So, and humid, really nice. So that's what I'm gonna do. So now I'm gonna get the rest of these done. So here we are in the greenhouse. This is fun, it's starting to fill up. So I've got the cauliflower and the cabbage, the broccoli, and then over here I have sweet peas, Nimbus sweet peas. And then down here, wait for it, the ginger, nothing. I want to show you what the snails and slugs have done to my peas. Bluck. So I'm also going to seed some more peas. What variety do I have here? Let me see, pull it out. I decided to try this Sabre from Renee's I've had good luck with before. So some of these peas did fine, but then the frost kind of damaged them. And a lot of them just got eaten. So I'm going to try again. That was the strangest thing. I just thought I saw Joe coming towards me from over here. That was sad. Okay, so over in here I've seeded turnips and I've seeded daikon radishes. But we're eating a lot of this chard, and I need to reseed some chard, so we have plenty of chard until spring. So I've got this Bright Lights, which is one of my favorites, and I think it's what I already planted here. And so I'm going to seed that too. Kind of funny, I didn't know where I left the camera, and I actually left it in the chard bed underneath the covers. So the row covers. I found it. So I wish you could, let me see if you can see this catalpa tree. That's our catalpa tree. It's beautiful, beautiful in May when it blooms. And then after it blooms, it makes these long pods, seed pods. And right now, if you stand out here on a windy day, you can hear the seed pods go pop, and then you can watch all the seeds drift down. And one of the things I have found, it's one of my worst weeds, is that catalpa in the springtime. But one thing I have found is that these row covers really help keep those seeds out of my vegetable beds. So at least that's one place that I don't have to worry about them popping up. So I guess that's it for today. A lot of seeding in the garden. It was a very garden heavy day. I'm sorry, I'm walking past the beehive and I noticed today that the bees were bringing in pollen, which is a good sign. That means babies are being born. So I will post the February to-do list, planting to-do list on my blog on Tuesday. And I knocked it out, a lot of it out today, which makes me feel good because it's been so sunny. I was really craving some planting and I got some done, and that makes me happy. It might be too early. I might have really screwed myself. But I don't know, you just take a chance when you garden, right? You take a chance. I don't know how many of you got a chance to check out my blog about why do we do this? Why do we garden? Why do we love plants? Why do we put ourselves through all of this? And I've been really thinking a lot about it this week. It's been kind of a fun exercise for me to think about, I don't know, what is it that really motivates me to keep doing this? And one thing I really, really, really love is that I get to come out here and pick things for our meals. And I know that it's as local as it can possibly be. It's as organic as it can possibly be. It's as fresh as it can possibly be. I think that might be the driving force behind all of this. I really like providing my families food. And I would really encourage you, if you're just thinking about starting out and this is the spring, you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to garden. Give it a try, man. You know, sometimes things fail and it doesn't come out the way you wanted, and oh gosh, it feels kind of sad because you've worked really hard on it. But if you don't try, you'll never succeed, right? So we got to at least try. And the more we do it, the better we get at it. And maybe by the time I'm 70, I can call myself an expert. Probably not. It's fun because in my classes, I'm finding that there are a lot of very knowledgeable people who have been doing this for a really long time who still learn something every single day. So that's kind of exciting that we can continue learning and growing and finding out new things. And I'm always seeing something new in the garden, and that's also really exciting. So I really encourage you to get out there and do it, even if it's just a pot of herbs. I mean, really, what do you have to lose? And you get to spend time outdoors, fresh air, sunshine. You can listen to the birds. Right now I'm listening to the sparrows, the white-crowned sparrows. I think maybe those are chickadees. And I just heard some crows. And I don't know, it grounds you, right? It connects you. So happy gardening. Happy almost February. Pretty soon it will be spring. Let's hang on. All right, have a great week. Thanks guys for watching.